welcome back to another video. Today I have some new pencils. I got the Brutfuner 120 set of, it says oily colored pencils, so they are oil based. And I was not going to purchase any more budget-friendly pencils, and I really had no interest in these. But after seeing a few different reviews, and a lot of people in my Facebook group were asking questions, I started researching just a little bit, and I found out that these were hard to get a hold of because these are actually the square ones. And I figure, why not go ahead and get them since they are available on Amazon right now. I am not sure of the difference between the other sets. I believe there's 180 set, and I believe those are round. So these are the 120 set, and they are squared. So that is the only difference that I know of, unless I decide to purchase some more pencils. But I don't know. So in this video, we are going to unbox these. We're going to take a look at them. And as I always do in my unboxing videos, after we take a look at them and see kind of what the color selection is, I always do a blend test. So we're going to do a blend test as well and see how well these blend, or layer actually, since they are an oil-based pencil. And I may even grab my Polychromos and see how they compare to the Polychromos. Of course, I'm going to do that on my Spring Hill paper. You guys know that that is a paper I always use in all my videos. So if you enjoy videos like this, please do give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel and turn your bell notifications on so that you're always notified every time I post a new video. If you would like to join my Facebook group, there is a link for that down in the description box below, as well as for my email list. And also, if you would like to support me on Patreon, there is also a link down there for that. Let's go ahead and take the wrapper off of these and take a look at these beautiful pencils. This is how they came from Amazon. They were pretty nicely packaged. I thought I read some reviews where people were saying that they were not packaged very well when they came to them, but I didn't have an issue. And I'm pretty sure it was Amazon where I read a lot of those reviews. But it comes in this plastic, which is very easy to come off. And then we'll just pull this out of here and get rid of the plastic. And then, oh, is this a sleeve? I thought that was part of the box, y'all. I was so excited about the box because I thought it had this really cool design on it. And I was like, that is a really cool tin. Maybe I won't need a pencil case and I'll just leave them in the tin. But apparently we just get a black tin. So let's go ahead and open the tin. I'm really not sure if this is Brutfuner or Brutfuner. I've heard several different people pronounce it different ways. If you guys know how to pronounce it, let me know in the comments below. It comes with a swatching sheet, so we could swatch out all of our colors. That is actually really, really cool. I've not seen any other pencils that come like that. I will say they do have a rather strong smell. Oh my goodness. They do have a rather strong smell. I'm sure it's just like any of the other colored pencils. If you just leave them with the tin open for a little while, and over time it will just kind of go away. So let's take a look at some of these colors. Oh, and another thing, somebody had told me that they thought that they were missing pencils, and it also looks like I am missing pencils, but I heard somebody say if you count them, it should be the same amount, because I guess they roll around in the tin, and so it looks like there's missing pencils, but there is really not. They come with these elastics here on the trays to easily lift them up out of the trays, and it is on the first tray, and it is on the second tray. These are really pretty colors. And then it is also on this last tray. There is a really pretty color selection in these. Let's go ahead and take a look at these pencils. One of the biggest questions in my Facebook group was whether or not these work with the Dahle 133, and I have heard that they do. I don't see why they wouldn't, and I'm going to go ahead and test that out on camera for you guys today because I feel like that is very, very important. One of the only reasons that I purchased these is because they're square, because I just don't have any other pencils that are square, and I thought that was super, super cool. And because they are kind of hard to get your hands on, and they just happen to be available, and the price was not bad. So if we look at the pencil, of course, like I just said, it is square. It has Chinese writing on here, and then it has a number, and this one is 086. So, and then over here on the other side it says Brutfuner. So there are no color names, and there was somebody in my Facebook group that actually had all of these names translated, and I am going to talk to her and see if it is okay to share that with all of you. I think they did share it in my Facebook group, so if you're not already in my Facebook group, I would go ahead and put in a request to join if you're interested in that, but I'm pretty sure all of the names were translated, and the names were really super, super cool, like very creative names. The first thing I want to do with these pencils is I want to test them out on my Dahle 133 sharpener. And it seems to be working very well. I mean, I knew that they would. Even if the wood is harder on these, I don't see where there would be a problem, because you guys know that the Crayolas that I love so much are, look at that beautiful sharp lead. But you guys know that the Crayolas that I love so, so much, especially because of the colors, are a very hard wood because they are a budget-friendly pencil. These did not seem too hard, which is really, really great, because usually you could tell how hard the wood is on a pencil by putting it into your pencil sharpener, because it will be much harder to turn the lever. And this was not hard to turn at all. So these seem to be great quality so far, but we will find out once we really put them to the test and try to blend them together. And I may do a little bit, try to match up the colors with my Polychromos and see how some of the same colors matched up blend together in the same way. Let's go ahead and test another one just to see if there is a difference in how hard the wood is dependent upon the color, because I've seen other pencil brands where dependent upon the pencil or the color, I don't know what the difference would be, but the wood is harder in some of them and not as hard in the others. And on these, it actually, with the Dahle 133, stops sharpening, and you could pretty much tell when your pencil has a sharp lead, and then so you would just release it and pull your pencil out. But look how gorgeous. And I probably need to sharpen one more, and we can use these colors for our blend test. So let me pull out this one that I sharpened and this one that I sharpened. And somebody in my Facebook group I thought I saw had requested or dropped a little hint telling me, I think we need these put in color order. That may be a whole lot of work. I don't know. I did it for the Black Widows, and so many people loved that video because I took all 144 pencils and I put them all in color family order and then exact color order. I just took all of the sets and I put them all together, and it was so much work. It took me hours and hours to get that done, and then swatch them all and everything. I put in so much time to that video. If you have the Black Widows and you want to see that video, I'll link that up in the upper right hand corner so that you could check that out. So the wood seems consistent, at least in the three that I have sharpened. I think this looks like a really cool color combination to start out with. We have a really pretty highlight color here and then kind of a mid-tone pink and then a darker purple, and I think that they may blend really nicely together. But since these are oil pencils, we're going to see how they layer too. And I know somebody in my Facebook group was asking about the difference, how you would lay down the colors between an oil-based pencil and a wax-based pencil. They do lay down differently, and oil-based pencils go down more so in layers. And usually when I'm working with oil-based pencils, I always put the lightest color down first because you could take the darker color and layer it right over it, and it works beautifully. I wanted to check, just due to some of the complaints I read in the Amazon reviews, where people were saying it looked like they were missing a pencil. Like here it looks like it's got 4 missing slots. But you all just saw me, I've only taken out 3 pencils, and when I first opened it, it looked as though there was 1 missing slot. I just went through and counted all the pencils, and I do have 120 pencils, and I just wanted to do that just in case you order these pencils and that comes up for you, and you are wondering if you are actually missing a pencil or may think you are missing a pencil. Count your pencils first, because I do have all 120, but it did look like I was missing 1. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these colors that come in this set. So look at this beautiful green. I always love to look at my greens because you guys know how much I love to color leaves, and I'm always bringing you videos where I share leaf combinations. And I don't know, maybe I'll be able to do that with these pencils too. You'll have to let me know if you would like to see that, but there's some gorgeous greens. We've got our greens with some blues in them over here, and then we get back into more greens and some of our more mossy greens, and then we get more into some more primary greens here, and then back into where we get into some brighter greens, and then yellows, and then into our oranges and our deeper oranges, and then into our reds. And then let's check out this tray. So you guys saw the ones that I took out. They were just a very pale peachy color here that looks to be kind of like a great skin tone color. These here look like they may be a great skin tone color. I'd have to swatch them to be able to tell. This looks very similar to a cream color that you would find in the Prismacolor set. Of course, don't take my word for it yet until I swatch them. But then we get into our lighter pinks and our deeper pinks. And then we've got some more what looks like to be reds here, but we had some reds over in the other tray. I would definitely put these in a much different color order than what they come like in the tin. So then we've got this bright, beautiful, what looks to be like a purpley blue. And then here's another really pretty purple. Can you see that? And here's a more darker muted purple. And then we have quite a few purples here. We've got purples with reds, purples with blues, and then we get into some of our blues, and then our lighter, brighter blues over here. And then we have our last tray. And which side is black? I think down here is more of the browns. More dark colors down here. This end may be the blacks. This may be more of a brown. And then we have something that looks like a darker muted purple again. These look very out of color order to me. I am definitely going to have to put these in order if I end up loving them. And I'm going to transfer them to one of my favorite cases. You guys know that my favorite cases are the BTSKY cases that you find on Amazon. I always have that linked down in the description box below, and I'll make sure that I do that for this video as well. And I also wanted to make all of you aware that for some reason that company, they are a private label company. I know that most of you know that a lot of these companies purchase these cases from places like AliExpress and such, and then they put their own private label name onto the pencil cases. Well, I don't remember this company ever selling the cases where you could put 3 pencils to 1 slot. And I just discovered on Amazon today, and I posted in my Facebook group because I thought it was really interesting that they now have both. The one that I really love and that I'm always telling you guys are amazing cases are definitely the one that has just 1 pencil per slot. I don't really care for the ones that have 3 pencils per slot because I had purchased one of those and I sent it back because I found that the pencils moved around too much for my liking. And it may be good for somebody who might want to put different color combinations together in one slot where you could keep 3 pencils and you kind of wanted your highlight color and your mid-tone and your dark tone. But for me, I don't do that. I leave my pencils in my cases in perfect color family and color order. So that just really wouldn't work for me. I like each pencil to have its own individual slot. I really thought it was important to make y'all aware of that situation because I'm always promoting those BTSKY cases, and I thought it was really interesting that they now carry the other cases that have the 3 slots in them, and I didn't want any of you to go purchase something that was not from one of my links and think that you were getting the same case that I'm raving about and then in turn be very disappointed. Let's go ahead and look at these colors here. So we've got the darker colors down here. Then we have more of the red type colors getting into more browns. These are probably like red brown type colors. Of course, this is just kind of my first reactions video and an unboxing, and I don't know for sure until I swatch them. So if you want to see an actual review video of these pencils after I've used them for a little while, please let me know down in the comments. It looks like we have more greens, or a couple greens here. I don't know if maybe they possibly have brown in them, more brown than green. But the barrel looks green, but you know how that goes with budget-friendly pencils. We really can't tell until we actually swatch it. But then this definitely looks like a green. If I look at the lead of the pencil, I mean, that's definitely green. That should definitely be over there in that tray. So I don't know, maybe I will have to put all of these in color order for you guys, and then I'll just do them by numbers since they all do have numbers on them. So we get quite a few grays. It looks, this is silver right here, but then we have a gray here. This looks kind of gray. So we've got a lighter gray, and then we go into the much darker grays. This one actually looks like it has blue in it. These look kind of like midnight blue type colors, or kind of like an indigo blue like you would find in the Prismacolor set or another artist grade set. And then I would assume that these are our blacker tones. This may be a very dark, dark gray, and then this is probably black. So there are definitely some gorgeous colors in here, and I just think they're so different because they are square. And I don't know, like, I am a little obsessed with colored pencils, as are a lot of you. I know, because of the talk and the chitter chatter all about supplies in my Facebook group. Like, you guys are as obsessed with pencils as I am. So, and of course that's what my channel is all about, colored pencils. So I thought it was appropriate that I had these in my, what I like to call now, my collection. Now we're going to go ahead and use these 3 colors that I had picked out, and we're going to do a blend, or rather a blend and layering test, and see how these lay down on the paper. Of course, this is my favorite paper. This is my Spring Hill paper. I always have a link down in the description for this paper. If you are printing out coloring pages, PDF coloring pages, you don't want to be without this paper. It's amazing. So let's go ahead and start with our lightest color. Oh wow, this lays down so nicely. And they're actually very comfortable in the hand. I'm actually very surprised about that because I thought with the square pencil that it would really be uncomfortable, but it's actually laying right on the top of my finger, and it has a flat edge for every finger, so it is actually quite nice. Now let's come back over here, and we're going to layer this pink color over the top of this lighter color. And then I have this darker purple color And I'm going to come in, oh, it actually looks like a bluish purple. And I'm going to lay this over the top of that. Wow, this works really well on this paper too. So let's come back over and layer a little bit of this pink over again. And I'm kind of pulling up on the pressure of the pencil as I come closer into that very pale color. Look how gorgeous this color is. You guys know how much I love my highlight colors. These are blending together very nicely. Oh my goodness, I'm surprised. I am very surprised. Now I want to compare these to the Sharpener pencils. They're also very pigmented, which is surprising. Look at how much, oh my goodness. So once I start piling these layers on top of one another, look how dark that pigment is getting. And I'm not even pushing that hard on the pencil. They blend together very, very nicely. And this paper is still taking more layers. Wow. You know what I want to do? I want to test out the white pencil in this set. So I got the white pencil and I sharpened it with my Dahle 133. And I just want to see how the white pencil in this set works. If it's just going to kind of bring these colors together. And I kind of want to try it on a black sheet of paper. I don't know if I have any black paper. I'll have to check. Now let's come back the other way. And it's actually blending all of these colors together and getting rid of that tooth in the paper. Look at this. Is that kind of crazy? Because the price on these is crazy cheap. Oh my goodness, I think I really love these. Oh goodness. There were so many of you that were in my Facebook group and you like wanted me to get these pencils because you wanted my opinion on these pencils. And I'm just like, I can't spend any more money on pencils, but when these were available and the fact that they were square and I just don't have any other square pencils, I just thought that it would be a really cool, what I would think eventually would be kind of a quote-unquote collectible if they're already hard to get now. I believe that the sets that are round are actually newer sets, and I believe that the square set is an older set, and that's why it is hard to come by. I went and got a sheet of black paper because I was really curious about the white pencil in this set, and I just want to see how opaque it is. Most of you know that the Prismacolor white is probably one of the most opaque whites that you'll find in any set of colored pencils, at least as far as I'm concerned. After all the tests that I've done and trying to see which white, I think I actually did a video on it when I was testing out a bunch of different white pencils from a bunch of different sets. And if I find that video, I'll make sure I have that linked up in the corner. But I'm pretty sure that I did a test to see, and Prismacolor has the most opaque white. Wow, look at that. Look how white that is on black. Where is my white Prismacolor? You guys know I always have that handy. I have like 3 of them laying here. Let me put my white Prismacolor next to that. Whoa. That's a little crazy to me. That's the second layer. And that's a second layer of the Prismacolor. This one is a little bit more opaque, but not by that much. That is a little bit crazy. So in a budget-friendly set, you get a really good white. That is really hard to come by, guys. That is really, really hard to come by. So I grabbed my Polychromos 2, and we are going to see, I'm going to put it right next to the Brutfuner pencil. Really? Are y'all seeing this? I'm kind of blown away right now. I went over that a couple times, and the Brutfuner pencil is actually more opaque, believe it or not. Oh my goodness, can you guys see that? So this is our Polychromos, which is the least opaque. Then we have our Brutfuner, which is more opaque. And then we have our Prismacolor, and this one is not far away from the Prismacolor, which is crazy to me. Really crazy to me. Wow. I'm gonna have to do some coloring with these pencils, and I will get back to you guys on their performance in a coloring book, and I may bring you some videos on the coloring books that these pencils work best in, because you guys know that I'm always telling you that you need to match your pencils to your paper when you're coloring, because one pencil is not going to perform the same way in any one book as another pencil. Yes, some of them will work in many books, but there are always specific books and the paper within those books that work the best with a certain pencil. Like, say for instance, my Artezas. I absolutely love, love, love my Artezas in my Maria Troll books, but I don't really necessarily care for using my Artezas in my Joanna Basford books. So that is an example, but I think I'm going to test these out in some different books, and I'm going to let you guys know what books and what paper they work best on. But they seem to work really nice on this Spring Hill paper. Before I close out the video, let me go ahead and get some matching colors. Since I have my Polychromos out, let me go ahead and get some colors that sort of match up to these. We are going to see what the difference is, or if there is a difference between how the Polychromos lay down as opposed to how these Brutfuners lay down. I chose 3 colors from my Polychromos, and I've got Indanthrene Blue. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. Then I've got Light Magenta, and what is this one? Beige Red. So if you notice, let me hold these closer to the camera, because these are not exact matches. They are just similar. So if you look at these two right here, you could tell this one has a lot more blue in it and this one has a lot more purple. There is nothing in the Polychromos set that matches up to this. I looked through all my pencils. I tried to get the closest match I possibly could. So I'm glad that I'm doing this, because that is another really great idea. If you guys have the Polychromos set and you are just looking to add more colors to mix with your Polychromos, they are both oil-based pencils, and that's why I'm doing this comparison. I wouldn't really compare these to the Prismacolors or try to, you know, check them against how the Prismacolors blend, because I know somebody's going to ask me in the comments, and the reason for that is because the Polychromos are an oil-based pencil, and these Brutfuners are an oil-based pencil, and the Prismacolors are wax-based. So they're going to lay down much differently than either one of these pencils. These are more so used to layer rather than to blend together. That is why when I did the demonstration, I started with my lightest color, and then I went over that with my mid-tone, and then I went in with my darker one. So we're going to go ahead and use the Polychromos now, and we're going to lay them down exactly the same right next to these. And we are going to see the difference. But they feel the same when they lay down. They honestly do. And then we've got our darker color. If I am being completely honest, which I am, you guys know I wouldn't throw you off. You guys know if I tell you something is good and you purchase it, I've really not had anyone come back and say that I gave something a review and I gave a dishonest, review of something, because especially for the Dahle 133, I know a lot of you all really, really love that pencil sharpener, but I am being completely honest, and the way that these lay down, they're just so similar. So similar. I am actually wondering if I like these better. Did I really say that? I paid so much money for these Polychromos, and it's like I really want to love them. And I do work with them every once in a while, but it's like I have found other oil-based pencils that I actually prefer to use aside from my Polychromos, which is unbelievable to me. A lot of the artists that you'll find on YouTube that have really big art channels, they love their Polychromos, and that is like their main pencil that they use when they're creating their art. And so many people love these pencils, but look at this. Oh my goodness. I mean, they blend together beautifully, but I don't know, I don't know, this is a really hard toss. Really, really hard. Look at that. This is a really, really hard toss set. Let me do one more thing before I cut this video. Let's go ahead and wrap this video up with trying to blend these two pencils together. So say I grab my Polychromos and I'm going to blend it together with my Brutfuner pencil, and we're going to see how that works. So we're going to layer these instead of using the same brand of colored pencil, because I really want to know how well these work together. And really, you would really know exactly how well they work together if you did it in an actual coloring book, and I may just do that in a video for you guys. But this is my Polychromos, and this is the Brutfuner, and look at them blending together so nicely. Oh my goodness. And it's like right now I can feel how they're going down on the paper in my hand, and it's like they feel the same. This is crazy. I'm going to use my Polychromos, and I'm going to try to blend out from my Brutfuner into the Polychromos again. Oh gosh. Look how well they work together. Is this for real? Guys, I'm really kind of surprised. I really am. Let me go over this pink with my Polychromos and see how I could blend it out. Look at that. Okay, y'all, so if you have, look how the color even changed. Can you see this right here? Where I mixed these two colors and kind of blended them together. Look at that gorgeous purple it created. This is kind of crazy. But look at the transition right here and how it created that gorgeous purple. And this is the Brutfuner, and the Polychromos that is actually mixed together. It's not like a poly and a poly. So that is really kind of surprising. Like, I don't even know what other word to use. It's extremely surprising. So what I have for you after doing all of this is, if you have the 120 set of Polychromos, these work beautifully together. I may actually bring this to a coloring book and try them both together, because I'm actually kind of really surprised right now. Like, I'm amazed. I really am. These pencils go down beautifully. And so now I'm thinking that I may have to get the bigger set of round ones and test those out to compare them and see if there is a difference between the squared version and the round version. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see that. But gosh, do you know, even with the 120, there is not really any pencils in here in the 120 set. When I put them next to my Polychromos, there's not a whole lot of colors that match together. Here's my Polychromos, and some of them are out. But you've got some bright colors, but a lot of the colors in the Polychromos set are more muted. And you don't have any real bright, like vibrant, like what I would consider a bright, vibrant, beautiful highlight color. And that's why I love my Prismacolors so much, because I have that in my Prismacolors. But I don't generally blend my oil-based pencils with my wax-based pencils. And then with my Prismacolors, I get a whole lot more grays. So I know I have a lot of pencils out here in the greens because I was coloring leaves, but I'm looking behind me at the greens that I have available, and there's nothing that's like really bright and vibrant and beautiful. And if I look at this tray of these Brutfuner pencils, I hope I'm saying that right, but if I look at this tray, look at these bright, vibrant greens. And let me see. This right here was behind me because it's out of the set, but this is the brightest I'm going to get, I believe, in my Polychromos, and that may be because they are all light fast and it may be harder to create those shades and still create a light fast pencil. But look at this. I mean, this color here, that in every set is one of my favorite shades. And those are usually beautiful, beautiful highlight colors. I love yellows and bright, bright greens. You guys know that. You've seen me do my leaf combinations with my Prismacolors. And that's why I generally don't do a lot of it with my Polychromos, because it's almost like I need something else to kind of mix in with them. But now I'm so glad that I bought these, because now I see that they work beautifully with my Polychromos, and so now I may actually bring out my Polychromos and kind of mix them together, because now I've got some really bright, vibrant highlight colors. And look at some of these colors over here. This is a beautiful color, and look how light it is. But you guys know I love my teals, I love my bright, bright greens, I love my bright, bright yellows, I love my cream colors, because you guys all know I'm a little obsessed with making highlights, and then colors like this that is similar to what you would find in the Prismacolor set that you don't have anything that really compares. Like here in the Polychromos set, this is the only color that I was able to find that came close to it, and it is, what did I say, reddish beige or something? Beige red. And if you look really closely at these, you can tell that this one is much more bright and vibrant. And when I did this down on the paper here, this, you can tell, is much lighter, and this looks a little bit more muted. So this, to me, is more like what a highlight color should look like rather than this. So that's why I love my Prismacolors, and that's why I purchase budget-friendly pencils, because I have found in the budget-friendly pencil sets, you get much brighter colors. I have the same issue with my luminance. Like if you purchase the luminance, we know that those are all light fast pencils, and that's why they're so expensive. but I like my bright, bright colors, and that's why I have the Pablos, because in the Pablo set of pencils, I'm going to find all those bright, bright, vibrant colors that I love to use for highlights, because you guys know when I color a page, I want to see the objects just kind of pop off the page. Hey y'all, so this was my first impressions of these Brutfuner pencils, and my thoughts? I'm really surprised. I really, really love them. Now I am going to color with them, and that is the reason that I wanted to make sure I got this video out, because I was going crazy sitting over here watching these sit on my floor, because you guys, I don't know if you know this, but because I like to bring you guys reviews and my first impressions when I get a new box of pencils, they will literally sometimes have to sit on my floor once they come in the mail for 2 days. And I'm like, these are not sitting on my floor for more than 24 hours. I have got to get this video done, and I have been editing my 8,000 subscriber giveaway video all day long. It took 3.5 hours to edit that video today, and I was exhausted, and I'm like, nope, I'm not stopping. I am going to get this video done so I could play with these pencils. But my thoughts on these pencils, go get them. I'm kidding, not really kidding. As if they're still available, I'm going to put the link down in the description box below where I purchased these on Amazon. But if they are still available once I have this video edited and up and released, you need to jump on these pencils, because once you put all of these colors in here, these 120 colors, and you put them with your Polychromos, this is going to give you like all of the colors that in my mind the Polychromos is missing, because now I can gladly color with my polys, and I've got colors like these right here that are beautiful, bright, and vibrant. And I can mix them with my Polychromos, and from my test, they work beautifully together. So you've got altogether 240 pencils, even if you don't get the 180 set of these. Now, I don't know about the 180 set, but as far as these 120 square ones, love, love, love. So I'm going to color with these, and I will let you know in which book they work best. But if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you check the description box below, I'll have everything you've seen in this video down there in case you would like to purchase something for yourself. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Happy coloring. Bye.